Good morning, Quadcopter 101, and what I got for you today is a review of the H2O AVX from GPToys. Now this quadcopter supposedly is waterproof. It's advertised as waterproof and that you can fly it like a submarine. I find that hard to believe. I really can't demonstrate that, obviously. I'm out here in the desert, and I am in a lake. Unfortunately, the lake is dry right now to be able to try that. Although we might get some rain later today. Who knows? And then possibly this lake might provide an opportunity to demonstrate its waterproofness. But the reason I bring this up, though, is if you look at this versus the original AVX from GPToys, although I have a broken propeller on mine right now, there is no difference in the design. If you look at the two, it's the exact same quadcopter minus the camera. I guess the camera can't be wet. The quadcopter, in effect, is not waterproof, but water resistant. The components in it are water resistant, which means if you accidentally dunk it in the water, or if you deliberately try to land in the water and take off, it's not going to affect the quadcopter. But that's not really remarkable, because my WL Toys V222, I've accidentally dunked it in a creek several times, and it still flies well. So corrosion doesn't seem to be an issue with the circuit board on these quadcopters, nor the motors. If you look at this thing, it has vent holes all through it. So if this does land in water, and you leave it there a sufficient long time, it's going to start to sink. You're going to need to get out of that water. Don't let it get down too deep, because if this thing fills with water, it's just going to be too heavy to take off. So I highly recommend those of you that do try the water feature of this, just do it so it just taps into the water lightly, and get out of that water as soon as you can. The batteries it uses is your standard batteries that you see with a SEMA X5C. You know, it is somewhat of a clone of the X5C, but it does have a special feature that I'm going to demonstrate. It's the same feature that the AVX has, the GPToys AVX, and that's that cruise control. And we have a relatively windless day today, so that I should be able to demonstrate that very well. So let's go for a flight of the H2O AVX from GPToys. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, the transmitter's on, and this thing automatically binds with the transmitter at when you turn it on, which is pretty darn cool. You don't need to do that up-down bind. Let me trim it a bit. Now, it's a very stable flyer, very similar to the X5C in quality of construction and the way it flies. See what I mean? Very pretty lights on it. Very nice quadcopter. But again, it has this feature on it that I'm going to demonstrate here shortly by pressing the button, and that's its cruise control, where it's going to repeat what I just did. Let's see if I can activate that. It remembers the last 40 seconds of flight and repeats it. Okay, let's do that. It's running on cruise control right now. Taking over from cruise control. Okay, I'm going to bring it down here, down to level, and start the recording. And turning to the right, and turning to the left, and going to hover, then rotating, then back to hover. Pressing the cruise control button. Now it should turn to the right. There's a bug there. Then it should turn to the left. Then it should rotate and hover. Here, going into hover. I guess that's the end of its routine. I only remembered that part. Okay, let's go into higher rate. And I'm going to activate the recorder of the flight controller. Activating it now. Let's do a snaking turn. Figure 8. Let's see if we can do a figure 8. We got a wind picking up. Okay, I'm going to activate the cruise control now. It's doing this on its own, folks. That figure 8 that I just did, which is pretty cool. And that's the end of the routine. When it goes back to hover, that's the end of the routine. So that's just neat. A neat feature of this quadcopter. Headless mode. I forgot which direction I pointed in headless mode. Let's find out. Okay, obviously off to the mountains there. So let's bring it back and I'll show it pirouetting in headless mode. So this has headless mode too. I'm in expert mode now. I guess that's beginner, intermediate, and expert. Pretty neat, huh? Oh, we got some rain coming here. Let's come out of headless mode. Now, the advertised range of this is 80 meters. I really haven't tested what happens if you do fly out of range. Let's land it for a second. Let's find out. Okay, we are going to turn on the motors and then turn off the transmitter. 1001, 1002, it will drop in effect. So let's go for some more flying of this. After you lose that bind by turning it off, I found that it's best to just replug the battery in again, point it off toward the direction that you want to set the base heading, and then turn on the transmitter again, rebinding it in effect. Okay, let's see its maneuverability. There we are in super expert mode 4. It has 20, 40, 60, and 80, or 20, 100%. So I guess 40, 60, 80, and 100%. I'm sorry. So it is very maneuverable in 100% mode. This is it. I wonder if I can do that with cruise control. Do it. This is doing it on its own, folks. Whoa. Okay, that's the end of its routine. Cruise control flying. Come out of cruise control. Gonna do flips. Oh no, I don't have enough battery left to demonstrate flips of this. So overall, I kind of like it. It's pretty neat, especially the cruise control feature. That it can do that. It can dip in the water, supposedly. I haven't demonstrated it, nor do I intend to demonstrate that unless we get some rain there from those clouds. But it is a good quadcopter and it's still flying well. The battery's lasting a reasonably long time. So again, this is the GPToys AVX H2O, which is the AVX without a camera attached. Of course, you can attach your own camera to that, like an 808 number 16. You can get some nice video. But it's a good flyer. It flies very similar to the X5C. If you're not interested in the X5C, this is a good alternative. It has headless mode again and cruise control. The X5C doesn't have that. This does. I think my battery's getting low. I'm almost full throttle here and it's getting sluggish now. Let's see how long we There's lights flashing. Lights aren't flashing. Let's keep going. Lights are flashing now. I knew it. I knew it was getting low. We'll fly until it drops. I'll just bring it a little lower. Let's see what it does. We got a wind coming from that direction. Going into that storm. It's coming from my behind here. I'm flying until this drops. The lights are flashing. Let's see how much advance warning we get. We got a good about 40 seconds advance warning from this lights before the quadcopter died. So that's pretty good. Okay, this is GPToys waterproof. No, it's not waterproof. Water resistant H2O AVX from GPToys. Hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101 signing out.